Welcome to the very first episode of the weekly Curiosity segment on lit-est. My name is Benita, your host, and on today's episode, we're talking about the top stories that made it on our list this week. Not just the stories though, we're still going to talk about the top 5 events that created a lot of buzz and vibes on the internet, and they also made it onto our list. Starting right off strong with the stories, number 5. This week is something that is on the lips of everyone. The hashtag 30 days rant challenge, where everybody comes out to talk about or complain about how much the economy has affected them. A lot of people have taken it upon themselves, and people have been posting, reposting, liking, sharing, filming, doing whatever they can in order to participate in the challenge. Recently, Susan came out and said that all celebrities who have kept quiet regarding the challenge should be unfollowed. But Mr. Macaroni came out and said it's crucial for people to understand that celebrities are also citizens as well. If they also speak on some of these issues, they would also get attacked. So it is not necessary for them to be forced into doing what they do not wish to. But what do you think? Are you in the agreement that yes, celebrities are humans and they should choose what they want to do? Or do you feel like they should use their public offices or their figureship, in quotes, to send the message across? What do you think? Let us know. And moving on straight to number 4 story, we've got the football team of Nigeria, known as the Super Eagles, participating in the passing the phone challenge. Oh my god, this made my week on the internet, I'm not going to lie. I watched that video so much and repeatedly. Alex Iwobi, he started the trend and he was passing the phone. But I'm telling you, I feel like majority of our Super Eagle stars do not really doom scroll on the internet like a lot of us do, because I do not think they understood the challenge. The challenge honestly lost its purpose at a point. They were literally just saying the most random things ever. It was still just as interesting to watch. And number 3 that shook us and had to just be on our list this week is President Bola declaring a state of emergency in Rivers. He decreed a state of emergency on March 19th, according to him, because of the political instability that has been going on in the state. He suspended the current Governor Fubara, and his deputy, and then he appointed a retired Navy Chief, General Ete Ibok Abbas, as the sole administrator of the state for an initial period of 6 months. Now, this has sparked a lot of controversies and bringing respected people to speak on the issue. Great Professor Wole Soyinka has even spoken up on the issue, saying that it does not speak well of a state that is supposed to be a federal state. There has been so many controversies, but what made this news so funny? The NYSC coppers who are based in Rivers State coming out to say that whatever the government wants to do, they should do, but it should not affect their 15,000 naira that is usually paid to them by the state, in addition to the 33,000 naira that is paid for NYSC coppers. So if you're not aware, Rivers State actually pays its coppers an extra 15,000 naira in conjunction with the 33,000 naira that is usually paid. This story is really heartbreaking and is not something that should be done in a constitutional state. But what do you think? Was it a right one? Second story on our list is such a happy one. The CEO of Ebony Life, Ma'am Mo Abudu, has purchased a building in London, the heart of London. I mean, not just anywhere in London, I mean the heart of London. Stunning property set to open in the last quarter of 2025. Now, let me tell you, this move of hers garnered a lot of praise from people, and people just kept hailing her as the king, the woman king, and all that. And to be very honest, she's such an iconic woman. She has been doing a lot of things. She has been changing a lot of narratives, and that's what we love to see. Such a big move, and it's such a power move. Anyways, this is going to do a lot for us in Nigeria and putting Nigeria or Africa out there on the map. She said she's going to put African food, African culture, African films, African music, African fashion out there on the map. There's even going to be African art exhibitions, and there is also going to be concert spaces where upcoming and emerging African artists could also come to perform. Everybody's really excited for Q4 of 2025 to see what the opening is going to be like. And I know that it's going to be such a big one, and I trust Africans to pull up. A lot of people are already dropping in the comments that, please, are we going to So Ashwebi? Because I'm ready. What's the color? I need to start preparing down. So obviously, you know that the premiere or the opening ceremony of Ebony Life in London, is going to be massive. Number one for the stories that shook us on the internet. Drumroll, please. And this particular one is drama in the Christian space. Christian drama. A few days earlier, Apostle Femi Lazarus came up to say and brought receipts because he wasn't just capping. He came up and he said that a lot of these gospel artists too much and request for too much for not just themselves but for the 40 members that they bring along with them on their visits. And he said that he had a problem with the word honorarium. Then the apostle has been receiving a lot of backlash from people. There are so many people who actually were against him, saying that the music business is expensive, and just because they are gospel artists doesn't mean that they should not put themselves up there just like the other musicians do. And people even went as far as bringing receipts to say that the apostle also monetizes things that concerns him. Someone brought up a receipt of his private channel on Instagram where you pay to become subscribed. Now, a lot of people are saying that, like, he's right, but the majority of... And, like, a lot of people are backlashing him, but the drama became more intense, where renowned artist Mr. Timmy Dakolo came up and said that the pastor was capping, according to his words. And that if he is actually right, then he should call names and not give us some half-arsed gist. Not my words. Okay, that one was actually my words. But anyways. So people kept stewing, wanting to see what the apostle would respond to that statement. But surprisingly, he showed Christian virtues and actually celebrated Mr. Timmy Dakolo. Do you think the pastor should have reacted, or do you think that Timmy Dakolo was right for calling out the pastor like that? Let us know in the comments. Okay, so that's it for our stories, right, for this week, and we're moving straight into the events that struck us and brought a lot of vibes. Vibes. Starting off strong on number 5 is the burial ceremony of the father of one of Nigeria's biggest actresses, Miss Iniedo. Now, that burial created a lot of buzz, having a lot of celebrities, a lot of top people in attendance, and I will tell you, Akwa Ibom definitely knew that something happened. Let's announce the passing of our father earlier this year and said that she would miss him so much because he was one of her biggest supporters. So it wasn't so much of a shock for us to see how much she put into celebrating the burial. Although there has been a lot of controversies, people who have been attacking her for attending the RNAQ at 40. People said that speaking about RNAQ at 40, of course, that's going to be our number 4 because the amount of buzz that created on the internet has been crazy. If you did not hear about RNAQ at 40, then just best believe that you do not exist on social media, because all who were who in society were in attendance. People started speculating that ceremony had to have been a show-off, and that majority of the people in attendance don't even know who the celebrants were. There were a lot of tweets on the internet and people saying that they should question all the attendees and ask them just one thing they knew about the celebrants. The full meaning of RNAQ is Richard Ni Amani Kwe, or Kwae. I really don't know how to pronounce that. He is the CEO of Quick Angels Limited, and he recently just clocked 40 years old. And according to him, he had to celebrate it in a big way. And so he had most of the who's and the doers and the movers and the shakers of society in attendance. And you know how Nigerians can be. There has been so many tweets on there has been so many tweets about people saying that I just want to be in attendance just to showcase my CV, nothing else. I don't even want the food. Just give me a chance to showcase. Just give me a chance to showcase my CV. It has been such an interesting week seeing the RNAQ tweets. There has been so many speculations. There has been so many tweets. You really need to check it out. Moving down straight into number 3, we've got the Masked King premiere. I honestly tell you, like, looking at those stories, looking at people dressed in their various attires, I just loved it. And it just made me think about the person who thought about the concept of a maxed king. It was just gold. It's good publicity. It looks good on camera. It was great for the premiere. And so I'm going to give it a kudos to Mr. Etim Effiong for doing such a great job. And there are moments where him and his wife are so lovey-dovey on the red carpet. It was so sweet. Ben's category this week is right now we're moving on to the Nollywood space. So the AMVCA has finally announced the nominees for this year, and I'm telling you, there are a lot of shocking categories. The events that give us a lot of vibes and ginger this week, it just had to be, you know the vibes, the show or the event by our able man Funke Akindele. Oh my god, it's the creative blueprint. Oh, that event literally shook us this week. There were so many creators, so many snippets, so many videos. It made me so happy to see. It was such an uplifting thing to see women in the creative space getting all the help, getting the info, getting the ideas they need. And anyway, Mam Funke is, she's just such a force, such an icon. And there were so many other great people in attendance. Miss Hilda was there, Miss Talma was there. The event was actually hosted. The event was hosted by Miss Adaku. You know who I'm talking about, yeah. If you're a fan of Jennifer's Diary, then you obviously know her. It was hosted by her. And a lot of people kept saying that it was the first time that they knew about her being a public host, and they were so surprised to see like that version of her. And people kept saying, are you joking? She has been in radio and hosting for such a long time. I guess it just means that she embodied her character so well that people cannot see her outside of her character. And so seeing her as a host, it really, really shocked a lot of people. But it was such an exciting thing. And there have been so many updates, so many vlogs from people who attended the event. There were so many gifts, I'm telling you. Like, anyways, I'm glad to see women winning, women doing great things. It is always such a pleasure for me. What won the week and what events gave us the most vibe? That's me signing off and saying period on Weekly Curiosity for this week. Let me know, what was your most exciting news and what was the most exciting event for you this week? I'm looking forward to seeing you next week, and as usual, I'm bringing you the hottest gists and the hottest stories.